Welcome back, UMG South Carolina. This is Brycey. I'm not Brycey. We do have an update for you of what's going on over at the feature station. Luminosity is currently up 1-0 against their opponent team, Liquid. I'm not even going to try to predict that one. That match is just going to be crazy. This match, I would say, is a little bit crazy as well. Again, we're just going to jump straight into the ban and protect. But currently tied 2-2 in map count between DT and Rise. And, of course, as you said, Rapid Fire and High Cal being the first to go. But S&D Overkill is going to get dropped as well by the hands of Chino.
Rise, again, banning out the tacticals. Are we going to see both of them banned here? I mean, we saw a protect actually last time coming from DT. And then we saw Rise instantly counter it with the tac mask protection. There we go. Now, Rise got that double tactical ban. Again, very standard for them coming into this. I just want to quickly talk about this tournament. It's amazing that the underdogs are winning. Like I said, it's LAN, it's on the day. It's the best of 7 as well. It's just incredible. I mean, it's thrills and spills. Maybe we can see some new stars rising up.
I can already just feel the excuses. Like, my phone is in my pocket, and through Twitter, I can feel the excuses coming in for all these different teams. The fans are just having like a field day with it because it's absolute insanity. Yeah. The things that have been going on so far, almost unexplainable to an extent. Ridiculousness so far. Of course,
I just want to point out Danger Close was banned.
Well, yeah, it's been interesting. DT has actually had quite a bit of success with their nades, not only today in this series. I mean, going back to the S&D, I think Sender was pegging people down with the nades despite the fact that they were using Flak Jacket. But even yesterday when they were playing against Team Elevate, the nades were a complete force. So just making sure that not too many of those are going to be flying in. Other than that, those specialists pretty much straightforward.
It's pretty much the same as last time actually we did this. You remember Chino took Overdrive again, and we had Vision Pulse on the side for Rise. So fairly standard from both these squads. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Obviously, Kinetic Armor still in. Active Camo, again, very useful in this scenario. Versatile is the word people can use for that one. But yeah, I mean, going into this now, I don't really want to predict it one way or the other. I may be leaning towards DT just a little bit.
Well, DT, it seems like they've been in good shape for every single map so far. Now, they've been having to make some pretty clutch plays to put themselves in that position, but they've been doing so very consistently. But Rise just gets overpowered. Yeah, go ahead, man. What's up?
Rise will win this at 5-5 with half a second left to defuse the bomb.
Honestly, that's a pretty legitimate claim to be making at this point. Just worth noting, Chino not going to be afraid to pull out the sniper rifle. He's done so in every S&D so far. He was also the one to ban Overkill, but again, he will have a pistol in his back pocket. And kind of curious as to whether or not Looney is going to pull one out as well, or even Slacked. I've even seen Classic do it. None of these guys are obviously they're pro players. They're not afraid to snipe at all, but again, just things to consider as this map goes on.
Well, we're about to get this one started and underway. It was DT who took the last search and destroy, but they've lost the last 2 maps in a row in the dying seconds, and that's a really hard way to lose. We kept thinking it's going to overtime. It hasn't, and Rise just kind of have that clutch factor.
And Classic just looks so bored. He's over here, like, they're going like the most ridiculous like series that we've probably had so far, or at least like, you know, ridiculous map after map, and he just looks bored, just hanging out. Waiting for people to create classes. No big deal.
Yeah, you'd expect a little bit more hype maybe in that booth considering how the last one's gone. But you know what? It's all business. It's all business for Rise. They are ready for this one. Dream Team obviously going to be sitting there. Maybe the morale has dropped a considerable fraction after those last 2 maps. But we'll find out how these 2 teams play here. If anything, this Search and Destroy could be the savior for Dream Team. Let's see how they get into it here.
Well, I don't know. We will find out. DT has been very calm. Again, I've talked about it quite a few times. They're very good at making those in-game adjustments. I'm trying to think back to whether or not they lost an S&D against Elevate. I know there's quite a few situations where Elevate was getting the man advantage. And we even saw it earlier on where just Diabolic is clutching 1v2 after 1v2. So you never want to, let the foot off the gas pedal against DT because all of these players are very capable. I don't think we've given Chino enough love in general as a series that he has had. He has been playing phenomenal as well. But, of course, Rise going to be on the offensive side. And, well, you can really go to either bomb site on this map, but generally teams favor the A side.
All right, now you can see Rise making a push. So they're going to go straight for this. It could be aggressive. The nade's going in. And he's going to see one there. Can he make this kill? No. Chino will shut that one down, but he does get picked up. So it's now 3 versus 3. Slack's also going to make that kill. He's pushing forward Slack. You might see a few more players. He goes down as well. And now it's going to be Octane left in a 1 versus 2. But he gets one.
Well,
Sorry, it's a 2 versus 2. It's now a 2 versus 1.
Yeah, Happy now left in the 1 versus 2. Of course, Happy is going to be able to spot the bomb carrier, but he is going to be getting shot from both sides. I thought for a second he might have been able to dip behind that rock, but Octane is going to be able to shut him down. So Octane actually is the player that comes out with the sniper. We missed the only shot that we saw him take, but again, we've seen the entirety of Rise before are on point with their pistols, and Octane is definitely not going to be an exception to this. So we know the overkill is gone, but he's just as good with the pistol as he is with the submachine gun, so no issues there.
All right, let's jump back onto the attack then. And we are on board with DT. And you know what? I definitely just saw a sniper there. Who was that? Chino, let's jump on board with him. Thermal. Looking. Oh my goodness, really?
Aim higher. Is he not going to be able to hit that?
He got it.
Oh, that's awkward. That player's got to be a little bit confused as well, because like the sniper shot is clearly coming in, but a little bit too thick of a wall, I guess. You know, you're shooting a guy in the heel, excuse me. Just a little bit weird that he was able to spot him, and it looks like no players from DT are actually
Chino
pushing
ended
in.
up getting a snipe.
Yeah, I think he actually was able to hit that. So Classic gets hit marker and decides to stay in the exact same spot. So unfortunate for him that he is capable of going through walls.
DT has gone in.
Yeah, it's Kitty Pride stuff going on, but now Sender is going to have control of this A bomb site. Tucks a nade to blow up that car. Diabolic, meanwhile, is picking up kills. So unfortunate round so far for Rise. They're going to be left in a 2v4, and that bomb is going to be planted. Sender going to be able to pick up Octane as well. Slacked is, I don't even know what he has to do in the situation, but I imagine he's going to get cleaned up very shortly.
Well, at the moment, he's running away as fast as he can. Down he goes as well. DT will tie this up now 1-1.
And again, it just goes back to Chino is apparently able to see people through walls, and of course he's going to get that final kill cam as well. So I believe he is on 2-kill streak, which things to keep in mind whether or not the score streaks are going to be able to make a difference, because we have seen a lot of HC car action, especially in S&D, because of how important those can be. And even in the series on Uplink, we saw the double HC car push through broken at some point. So players very well coordinated in that regard. But of course, right now, tied at 1-1.
Well, jumping on board with Octane here to begin with. Trophy Systems deploying onto this map, knowing the nades are coming in as well. You got to remember, they also did the danger close ban, knowing how good DT are with their nades. Right now, you see Classic trying to get in the gunfight. He's going to be able to dip out into this one. And looking for it, doesn't matter. Teammate will help pick it up, but he comes straight back in the fire. Now Slack's left alone after only a few seconds, and down he goes as well.
Yeah, Diabolic just picked up 3 that round. We saw Classic was the player that was responsible for getting the trade on the player on top mansion.
He's one.
He's unable to win the gunfight, and then as soon as he gets cleaned up by the players diving in, Diabolic is just able to. Yeah, he didn't even have to move more than 5 feet.
Super quick round as well. I mean, the fact that they pretty much rushed and pushed it, it's one of those ones that can go 2 ways, right? Obviously, it goes in your advantage. You manage to get the kills. The other team has to back off, or you lose those first few engagements, and all of a sudden, you're just kind of trapped in the open.
And Rise even did that quite a few times on Breach S&D, where they just send players up pretty aggressively mid-map. So again, DT consistently adjusting. Of course, now we have a 2-2 player split. Chino is going to get tagged up with the nade. So of course, Rise is going to be aware of the strategy that DT is trying to employ. But right now, DT just going to be playing for that pick.
Happy trying to peek here, being very, very cautious when he does so. He really just wants his first blood, and DT have frozen like statues, ready to leap as soon as they can make a pick, but they want that pick first. So dangerous to go in. It might be Diabolic. He may use the HCXD here, unless he's going to peek first. Looks like they may wait a little bit too long. Now, can they go in? He's going to go for Diabolic, goes in, but he will lose that first gunfight, coming in. Chino tries to even it back up, but he misses the snipe as well. It's now a 2 versus 4, now a 1 versus 4. And he's going to have to run for it. They're going to challenge him here as well. Rise will completely shut down DT in that push.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Chino puts away the sniper for quite a few rounds. They seem pretty reliant on him to try and get a pick. Obviously, he was successful with it in their previous offensive round. This time, though, it's 45 seconds left on the clock, and they have to start making moves, and they weren't able to trade that first kill, and then it's just a pretty much hopeless situation after that. But again, DT consistently have been switching up their strats. We'll see if they continue to do the same. Of course, Rise now back on offense. Got cleaned up pretty quickly last round. Let's see what they do. It looks like Octane going to have the thermal sniper as well.
Well, right now they're going to be pushing forward as it's actually they're splitting. So might be looking to make something of this here. Looney's been pushing forward, and he's actually pushing forward with Octane, who's sniping, trying to make something happen. And now this is where it gets a little bit dangerous. these two can make a pick here. It actually opens up the entire side of the map for them and makes DT actually redistribute where their players are. But they've got to make that pick.
Yeah, I think it's more of a defensive thing. Looney is just right now allowing Octane to kind of jump up and down and check top second mansion. Obviously, he had that sniper out. And you can see nothing was spotted by Octane, so they're just going to back up and rotate around. And now Classic is going to begin to start making moves. I don't think he should shoot that trophy system. Please don't. But if that trophy's there, he knows a player is going to be somewhat nearby. But again, on offense, players waiting a little bit of a long time. Looney was getting picked off, and this might be a situation where they just waited too long.
He needed to win that gunfight.
Yeah, not able to clean it up. Slack, though, is going to be able to pick up shooting that player. Still top second. The trade comes in. Octane actually hits that snipe. Classic just melts the hell out of Happy in that situation. That's going to leave Diabolic in the 1v2. We've seen him clutch up quite a few of these. Actually sees that player. He knows that they're going to rotate over to A, and he is going to meet them there. He's going to have a nade cooked and ready to go. He is going to get spotted, though.
Surely not going to be able to do this one.
Nope. Octane came flying around the corner in support. It was an interesting situation. That's a time where you might call the HC car, right? You know they're going to wrap over to A. You know what they're going to do. But, of course, he pushed too far, and Classic a little bit too smart. Made sure to check all around the mansion area, all those corners that he possibly could have been in. So
he was ready with that nade. He was going to try and obviously hit the bomb side with it to begin with. That was his first plan, not knowing that they were going to check first. But there we go. Right now, we're jumping back onto the attack with DT.
And just to go back, you see Rise was a little bit more successful with that methodical play. It looks like Chino's still sticking with the sniper. Not sure if they're going to be playing for a pick again, but they are going to leave Sender with the bomb. Or actually, Chino's beginning to rotate over just a little bit over by the bunker area. Now you hear the HC car actually gets called in. That is what DT is relying on to open up this map.
Well, let's see it. It has been taken down. I was going to try and get on board with it, but right now, Sender just waiting for this one. They are going to actually push it this time. And you're going to see Chino with the sniper as well, using that thermal sight. Diabolic actually making a pick as well means they might actually have an open flank if they want to go for it. And I think they've realized they may have an opportunity here to make something. But Classic picking up two has put his rest of his teammates in a bad situation. They want to make a pick now to bring this back to 2 versus 2. And I don't think Rise know they're here.
Well, we're going to see how long it takes Rise to recognize this and have a player kind of turn around. It looks like they actually do have a player on the back dash just staring at the spawn. That's going to be Looney. Cleans up Center. Chino again in a 1v3 situation. Looney knows exactly where he is. He's going to get cleaned up very quickly. They had a very good opportunity on their hands. They could have pushed through bunker quickly. As soon as Diabolic got that kill, they just took way too long to make anything happen. And, well, when you're allowing players to get 2 pieces, there's not much you can do anyway.
Yeah, there was a very small window of opportunity there between does this player redistribute where they are? Is he peeking mid to try and get mid control? But they played it safe. They were hoping there was someone actually watching that bunker, but nobody was. And by the time they could actually get into a position of flank, they'd already gone down.
Yeah, it's also another thing. DT was very reliant earlier on Chino getting a pick, that time on the HC car. But the HC cars, it's kind of hit or miss when you're going against 4 people. Chino, though, put the sniper away, and he's able to get that first blood with the M8, and that is going to be very beneficial to DT. But Octane with the sniper, able to get the trade, making things back to that 3v3. And honestly, we saw the methodical play last time out of Rise. They were able to pick the players off one by one. They're in a good position to do it once again.
Are they pushing bunker as a unit? I think they might actually be doing so. Wisely staying together here, hoping to push straight through. Well, no fear of actually anybody kind of holding hook here. And they're going for it a little bit quicker, actually. Look at Rise move. They're just going for this pretty much straight away. No fear coming in from them. They are going to get into a gunfight now. And Classic is going to be the first one to actually try and engage in this gunfight here. He's going to be defending from the other way. Goes straight in. Looney gets one as well. Can he get the second one as well? No. Diabolic will shut him down, but Octane is there to clean it up. Every single member alive for Rise actually able to get that one done.
And talk about the difference in play style. They wasted absolutely no time. They just sprinted straight through bunker. You see Looney is just ignoring the corners. Yeah, they go for it. There wasn't even a single player that had turned around for DT. Of course, they gave away their position, so DT became aware of it very quickly, but very difficult to win their gunfights when you're caught off guard.
They probably didn't expect all 3 of them to be there. That's what they were worried about. They were expecting to come from the other side. They just weren't expecting Rise to be so aggressive with that flank.
Yeah, now Chino, though, popping the overdrive, trying to catch the enemy team off guard. Yeah, that's an easy kill. Getting the sniper up top, spots the second one as well. Happy cleans up that kill. Chino in a spot. Gonna have both of those players in his line of sight. Smartly, though, gonna back up. Spots at least one player crossing back over towards A. But, of course, right now, DT does have that man advantage. Diabolic getting the pick on Classic. Slack gives away his position, and he gets traded very quickly by Sender. So I like the counter by DT. When they're playing slow, they're getting picked off one by one. When Chino uses the overdrive, he gets an easy first blood. They convert the round.
Well, that certainly worked out for them there. Can they, though, snatch this Search and Destroys from the jaws of Rise. 3 more rounds to do it. It'll be 4 rounds on the bounce. Do you think it's possible?
Well, I mean, your prediction was that it was going to go all the way to round 11, 5-5, and then the defuse is going to come in with a half-second left because that's just been Rise's style so far. That's how they like to win in just terrifying fashion. But Classic, he's got some streaks at his disposal, and frankly, those can win S&D rounds by themselves. So we'll see what he can do with the HC card first and then potentially the dart later on.
All right, on board now with Classic, showing his driving skills off. Now he's looking for information here. He's going to see a player. HCXD stays alive, will eventually go down now. And that bomb's gone down as well. It pushed them out of the bomb site just enough. But Looney, I mean, Looney's problem may go down here. Nobody in a position to trade. They've left Looney alone. Doesn't matter. Looney does what he wants.
Well, they left him alone because you see the dart got called in. Looney is on top of the bomb. Slack picked up another kill, but they have a dart. It's basically impossible to defuse in that situation. You see the call-out came in from the dart as
Looney's
well.
all right anyway. Looney doesn't care.
Yeah, and Looney knew exactly when to use the heat wave because of the call-out, and then Octane gets the final cleanup kill. So very dominating round
Flying
right there
arrow
by
of
Rise.
death. Oh, misses him well. But yeah, I mean, when they brought that dart in here, it was clearly just going to circle around the bomb site. Unless you shoot it down, you're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, and that's just the importance of streaks, especially in S&D. And I'd like to try and take it back just a little bit. Classic was able to pick up the 2-piece earlier on when you remember those 2 players were going on the flank through bunker for DT. I'm not sure if that was the 2-piece that gave him the streaks earlier on or not, but either way, very nice game by him. And, of course, got to give props to Octane as well. Had the sniper out, and he finished at 10-3.
Yeah, big plays from them there, actually, and they looked a lot more confident in that search and destroy. The first one we saw, not so much. DT seemed to be setting the tempo this time around. A lot more confident. They were ready for it as well. I mean, they just had some great set plays. They were very kind of committed. We saw, you know, that big flank was pretty much the entire way Rise ended up playing this. They didn't hesitate. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they pulled it off.
I think it might just be a map-to-map base.